In this video, I'm doing Tetris for modelers, making mysterious wooden rings, and improving included plastic parts. Alright, so as already announced in the last video, we will continue by planking the deck. But before we do that, we have to finish one task, and that's the bollards. Well, to be honest, I made a little mistake by assembling the first pair of bollards because basically I put the wrong cylinders on the wrong base plate. But now I have corrected that, and I put them on the right position now, because the very big bollards on the stern and the medium size on the bow, and then there's two small in the midsection, and that's the right position for the bollards. So with the bollards now finished, we can continue by framing all the things, and that means the structures, the bollards and the edges and all like this. And for that I'm using a 0.3 by 3 by 0.5 millimeter strip, which is included in the kit. And as said before, I frame first all structures and the edges, and always starting from the middle. And the very edge of the deck seems to be a steel deck, because when I check the plans, the wooden planking ends at the stringers. And so I painted the very edge, and now I can continue framing the edge of the decks, which looks like this. And the next thing is framing the structures, that mean at the stern edge. And you see that I have a little bit overlapping, and I hope that will help to keep the water out of this hatch. So as said before, now we can continue with framing the bollards, and that's very easy. That's 45 degrees cuts, and then put the wooden strips around the bollards. The smaller one is a little bit more tedious, but the bigger one, well, goes very easy and very fast. More complicated are the lids of the ice bunkers. And well, they are round, and round is not so easy. So what I'm doing is using a glass sheet, and on this glass sheet I put some strips of double-sided tape, and on this tape I can put the wooden strips or the wooden planks for the decks side by side, and I really have to take care that those strips are stick together, that there are no major gaps in between, because that will end in a disaster. So when I put several sticks beside, I can cover this all with CA glue, and in the end, so I have like a veneer, and it's easy to remove from the glass sheet, because CA glue does not really stick to glass, and also the double-sided tape will help from it. So the visible surface, I would say, is the back side. The side where we put the CA glue is the underside. And now we can cut with a circle compass cutter. We can cut our rings. And it's very important that we first cut out the outer diameter, because if we would cut out the inner diameter first, we have no center anymore. So as second, we cut out the inner diameter, and that looks like this. They are really fragile, I can tell, but with a little bit care, it looks amazing. And you see it fits perfectly to the lids of the ice bunkers. So the very next thing is the framing the structures around the hedges and the bollards on the stern hedge. And well, that's also really tedious work, because there are a lot of cuts in it, and it's very small. But well, that's what we have chosen as our hobby, and well, we enjoy it. And the next is framing the main structure, and it's basically the same, 45 degrees cut, and then put it around the structure, as you can see here. This is much easier because there are a lot of straight lines except those two extension there at the nose of the structure, but well, don't talk about it. Now we can continue with the regular planking, and as you can see, we are using a 3-bar shift. That means every fourth plank is the first. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 is number 1 again. And I don't have to show you the process of it because that's no rocket science. The only thing what you have to take care is the alignment. So because you're going sometimes from the outside to the inside, and a little bit masking tape will help you with this task. And well, we already complete the deck, and well, it looks really amazing. And I didn't put any caulking designs in between the planks because they are really small. So the last two things we have to fabricate is a battery of valves, which comes on the stern hatch. And well, the looks all right. The injection molded plastic looks all right, but there's always space to improve those parts, especially those hand wheels, because there are only 3. Otherwise, they wouldn't fit because they are too big. So I 3D printed some flanges and also some hand wheels, which have now the correct size. You can see that I put on all 5 valves, I put a hand wheel, and there's space between it, which I couldn't do with the included hand wheels and the kit. And also the flanges, well, I used the included, the injection molded, and then put on the backside, so on the flat backside, I put a 3D flange, and that makes it a little bit more 3-dimensional and realistic. And I also drilled out a little bit the center hole. And after that, well, we have to paint it up and put a little bit gold on it, and the green and the red hand wheels, which fits to the overall look of this museum expression. And this structure, well, I really don't know what it's used for. It looks like to be a canal or a cover for electrical wires or whatever. It's right there in between the main structure and the anchor wrench. And I also put in the stern podest. Well, that's the final result, and well, it looks really amazing. So we can open the stern hatch, and you see that there is no visible line. And now we can put back also the RC components and the main structure, and that looks all right. So I think with the little improvements we made on the valve battery and also the framing of the deck planks and all like this kit looks already really amazing. And well, the next thing what we have to do is the main structure, but before that, I think we also have to fabricate those arches, which protects the structure and the hedges from the towing line. But that is the stuff for the next and upcoming videos. So up to then, stay tuned and see you there.